where some of y'all saw him. In fact, Magic Beans saw 5 of them, beat 5 of them, saw 6 in total. Inkling beat 4 of them, saw 6 in total as well. I want to keep an eye out for Magic Beans because they do have wins against teams we're going to see today. I mean, they beat Disgusting Pickup Team, which is Delicious Steak Dinner, but it also is a few different names. There's Luminescence that they've also beat. They both beat them they beat both of them 2-1. So lots of stuff to expect here from Magic Beans. Ink League has struggled against these types of alpha bracket teams. They've lost to Citronade and No Sticks, but they did make it here, and they've showed that they deserve to be here. So now is the best time for you to say, all right, this is what we can do. Let's see what we can show y'all. Or y'all see what we can show y'all.
Totally. And Nito, I think, unfortunately, our introduction was heard by no one.
Uh-oh.
We were speaking into the void there for a couple of minutes, but you know what? That's okay. We're back on live now. If you missed it already, it's Saf and Nito on the mic with Sam Puris here as our streamer today. We are in Low Ink Alpha Bracket Day 2, October 2025. Nito just gave a phenomenal breakdown of the two teams we're looking at here this morning, this afternoon, whatever time it is for you. Like a very good breakdown. And I'm sad that you kind of had to miss the first half of it, but Nito, you really got me going in the second half. Can you give me an explanation for those of us that missed it one more time from the top?
Real quick, Magic Beans came out of day 1 5-1. Ink League came out 4-2. Magic Beans does have wins against alpha bracket teams already. You got Disgusting Pickup Team and Luminescence. They beat both of them 2-1. Ink League has 2 of their losses in courtesy of alpha bracket teams, Citronade 2 and No Sticks Allowed. Or No Sticks players rather. So you're going to see what Ink League can do in the actual alpha bracket situation against another alpha bracket team. We'll see what that result means today, right now.
Yeah, and also kind of a tense matchup because according to the seeding council, this is seeds 14 and 15 we're seeing go head-to-head here in the first round of Alpha Bracket today. And reminder, which Nito, as we know, when we make it to day 2 of Low Ink, we are in the counter-picking situation. So we're opening on Splatzone's Hagglefish Market. For those of you back sitting at home being like, what the heck is a counter-pick? Well, let me tell you. So Splatzone's Hagglefish Market is what we're opening on. Let's say Magic Beans is the ones that are victorious in this round. That would mean that Ink League is on the counter-picking seat. They still have the option to pick the same map and game mode, I believe, if they would like. However, if Magic Beans were to be on the counter-picking scenario, Magic Beans could not pick Splatzones or Hagglefish Market as their next pick because they have already won on it previously. It's a best of 3 here. Looking ahead with this counter pick situation. And Nito, one thing I want to point out, for me, it would seem that Magic Beans is actually not only FTIU banned, but our late and great Little Squid League banned as well. So they're looking ahead here to try to actually cap that lower level tournament bandwagon continuation, if you will. I'm trying to find the right word, Nito. I'm thinking about pickles.
I mean, aren't we all? Today's a great day to think about pickles, and we're only going to give you all we have to know about pickles later on, which there's a lot, so go ahead and stay strapped in. And go ahead and strap in, because we got game 1, match 1 heading your way. We can start things off with Splatzone's Hagglefish Market.
Yes, and with Magic Beans coming out of the spawn here, we do see that Nutty is going to be on that Splooshomatic. It's one of their best weapons in their 2-weapon arsenal, the other being a Splattershot Pro, so very distinct weapon pool here. However, it's going to be Ink League that is first to make the statement on taking the cap on the zone first, with 2 members going down here. That's Town zooming into the center stage here, trying to cause a little bit of distraction. Void is going to have to back up, and an unfortunate jump in 2 for the members of Ink League. Magic Beans is going to turn it around.
Excellent work there by Magic Beans to start off Town with the Tetra Dualies. Has some backup there with the Ink back, has some backup there with the rest of Magic Beans coming through. And look at how far up they are already. They have made their claim on this team, on this match, on this team even. Nutty making some good work of that Ultra Stamp, but the damage has been done well ahead of the points, well ahead of map control. They are doing excellent here, South.
Yeah, totally. And I like to see that Magic Beans is not going to be letting go of any pressure here, especially with 3 members going down. That cooler did get popped, but not shortly before the wipeout is being initiated onto Ink Leak. Ink Leak is just stuck in the spawning area at this moment. You could see in the corner that the stamp was able to go out and cause a little bit of distraction, and actually breaking through to the other side. That Sailor and Void coming in to try to cap over the zone. Huge penalty being initiated on Magic Beans, Nito.
But now we're going to need to watch out for Coral here with the stamp coming in from behind. There's already 2 players down from Inkling. We're going to see what they can do with that stamp later on. As we see Nutty here trying to charge this Ultra Stamp. This Ultra Stamp could be very dangerous from Inkling rather. Magic Beans has been doing fairly well, trying to keep it out, trying to make sure it is something that Inkling is forced to stick back with. Almost gets this pencil here, but Inkling still trying to find their way back in. They did attempt to use 2 specials here to try to get the zone, and they did get the zone, but there's another few to get them back in. Nothing there yet, and that's been their problem.
Yeah, and I think that the hammer, unfortunately, it seemed like a little bit of a longer-sided throw, if you will, kind of going past the zone and not really hitting the marker that they were looking for there, unfortunately. But Magic Beans having 2, or actually make it 1 member pushed up into the spawning area. You can see the 10th player is actually going to push back and jump out of harm's way here, as Inkleak is going to be taking the zone once again. And there are beacons on the field, Nito, so Magic Beans is going to be really quick to be jumping back into the zone here.
And what they've been doing excellently here is making best use of their map control. They spread themselves out so well that there's always somebody nearby, but they can just rely on their specials, their weapons, and their skill to keep that map control. So those beacons are going to be dangerous here. And so is this counterplay with the reslider from another reslider. It's Town here with the reslider to get that pick, and it's Inkling with the zone for now. Who knows how long that's going to last. I like the ink back pop here. You get at least 2 players trapped in, and now everybody knows that Threadfinger's right there. Magic Beans cleans that up.
Yeah, really quick collapsibility coming from Magic Beans on any player of Inkleak that tends to leak through, if you will, Nito. But at the top of the moment here, you can see that there are all the players of Inkleak trying to get out of the zone here, or I guess more so out of their spawning area. They're coming down into the court area. Deca is laying down a bunch of paint with this pencil here. Cooler is online, and actually so is Reef Slider at that. So tons of special building coming out, and they are going to Reef Slide for Reef Slide, but Magic Beans is going to be the loser in that battle. However, it seems to me that the Tent and Town are really quick to follow up here, so still Magic Beans having a firm hold.
And the thing I'm noticing here is that whenever Inkling tries to go for something like that, it doesn't seem like it's out of coordination, but rather it's out of, okay, we need to do this, we need to get zoned because they're about to KO. And to their credit, they did get it, but these penalty points are going down fast. Inkling may actually be able to capture the zone here yet again if they can get enough paint down, and they do. They just need to be working more together. I don't see enough of that yet, but they are seeing a little bit more of it here, getting 2 of these fights onto the side, and it seems to work out just a little better there playing it together.
Yeah, I think Nutty was kind of aiming down a little bit with that stamp throw. It looked like there wasn't, they couldn't really quite find the marker they were looking for. But once again, multiple members of Inkleak are staggering back out of the spawning area. They keep getting taken down 1 by 1 by the folks of Magic Beans. Nutty and Town over there kind of collapsing in on 1 player. Magic Beans has had phenomenal coordination by executing 2v1s on Inkleak continuously and able to just corral the folks of Inkleak, leading them to the first win on game 1.
Beautiful work there by Magic Beans. I think after a while, after that first push, you get so many points that you start thinking, all right, well, all we need to do is sit back. We're going to let them try to come to us. And Inkling, to that point, fed in that very well because Inkling was trying to make so many plays just to make sure they could stop the bleeding there in that Splat Zones game. And they did to some extent. Inkling, however, needs just a bit more working together, a bit more timing on that. And I think that's what's going to help them out here. But now they have the benefit of the counter pick. We did talk about that earlier, Seth. Lots of stuff that you can get from a counter pick. Make sure you can get something that favors your playstyle, or make sure you can get something that maybe works against them.
And one thing I really appreciate, Nito, is that their tent player was playing blindfolded. So you have to commend somebody like that kind of just has very similar to Toph from the last Airbender, if you will, just has the senses of feeling the ground and vibrations to make sure that you can successfully take your team to victory. But again, so Inkling being on the counter picking seat, they have to decide map and mode here based on what we have in the map list map pool for this month's low ink. But Nito, one of the things that I'd love to actually share with you is that there's so many different foods that you can pickle. And pickling, for those of you out there that are curious, pickling is different than fermenting. Those are two different things.
That is true, Elder. You can ferment pickles, but they are often cured in open outdoor vats, which means they are getting all that power from nature, from the sun. So there's a lot that pickles have that go into the foods that you eat. So lots of stuff to go in there. UV rays, infrared rays, those help clear all the nasty stuff, such as what Inkling's going to try to do here against Magic Beans. Make sure they can try to clear out effectively and make sure they have some space to get back in, which is what they might be wanting to do here with this counter pick. That was
yes,
smooth. No, it wasn't.
And perhaps Magic Beans has created the anaerobic conditions of salt, which is creating an environment that is really successful for fermentation. So perhaps Inkling could be feeling a little bit salty after this first round. We're not really sure. But hopefully whatever is decided for their counter pick can actually put them back in the driver's seat moving forward in this round 1 conditions here. But they need lactic acid and really good, in the absence of oxygen. I guess in Inkling's case here, with having to be on the counter-picking side, that allows lactic acid and bacteria to thrive and perform in the fermentation process. So perhaps Inkling just needs the encouragement of bacteria and the lack of oxygen in order that, like, perhaps this is where they are going to thrive and perform, is what I'm trying to say.
And when you thrive, when you perform, you do need hydration, which is where pickle juice comes in. And I just now realized that there is an actual brand called pickle juice, so apologies to IPL. I will cover all of the, whatever kind of costs come out of copyright claims. But regardless, pickle juice is a good hydrating liquid rather, that does help when it comes to moments of high heat, Texas summer, Texas winter, because God knows it's still warm. But regardless, the point I'm trying to make here is that there's a lot you can do with pickle juice and how hydrating it could be. So that's probably what Inkling is drinking on while thinking about this counter pick, because we are still waiting their counter pick, and I actually think we got this. I'm looking straight at Sendo, and it tells me we have it right now. Power control on Ship-Shape Cargo Co. coming up next.
Lots of pickle juice drinking in order to make the decision here, Nito. So moving into the tower control Ship-Shape Cargo, I'm imagining that some of these cargo containers are holding some of the pickling and pickles that we are discussing here right now. Which I don't know if people know, but there are so many different things that you can pickle. You can pickle almost any type of food. You can pickle almost any thing, animate object, if you'd like. So if you want to try pickling a rock, you totally could. I'm not sure how that would turn out for you. It might smell, but that's an inorganic thing, or I guess it is organic. It's a thing that you can't really eat necessarily. But if you wanted to go as far as to pickle other objects, you certainly could, but probably not recommended.
You can pickle this counter pick if you want, and that's what Magic Beans probably wants to do here. Ship-Shape Cargo Co. I mean, let's talk about the map real quick. Ship-Shape Cargo Co. is one that even I, having played this game for too many years, have failed to understand, because Ship-Shape Cargo Co. is, especially with tower control, I think is a map where it feels a lot like the good old Schellendorf Museum, but without the glass barrier ceiling thing. And it feels like that because it's all a straight line, but it's also the fact that all of these tower checkpoints are hard to defend against. And we're gonna actually look at the comps coming out here. Is that another Dreadringer?
Oh, it certainly is. It's the newest Dreadringer of the additions of weapons coming out here on the side of Inkling. That's with Void there. And also, we still are seeing a very similar weapon composition coming out from Magic Beans, except we are going to be trading that Sploosh-O-Matic out for that Pro that I was talking about earlier coming out from Nutty. So opting for a little bit more range, and also I see the S-Blast 91 also making an appearance here. Double Sword on the side of Inkling, and already with the fights being initiated, missiles are going to come out from Magic Beans. However, Inkling is looking to have the advantage in terms of numbers here, and are going to slowly take the tower in a very slim lead.
Now this is the kind of patience I was looking for Inkling. They're working slowly here, but they're working together. They're moving together. And that's what I like from Coral there. Waiting until we got to that checkpoint to start putting pressure all the way up front of Magic Beans, because Inkling knows when Magic Beans is able to get past your own line of defense, it's any question as to what can happen afterwards. So Inkling take the initiative here. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, that's going to be huge coming in as we round our way to checkpoint number 2. Dreadringer has its special online and ready to use. Void is kind of just waiting for the right moment here as we enter single digit, and the Crab Tank is going to be where that comes into full force. You can see that 3 members have now been called out on Magic Beans, but not quite enough, as the S-Blast is going to shut down the pressure from the Crab Tank. 3 points left on the board for Inkling to try to close it out here. Magic Beans having to climb all the way from the base of the mountain, looking to try to reach the peak.
And they're so close to the peak there, but Magic Beans cleaning things up very well here. I mean, look at how much paint they have on the ground now. They have moved together fairly quick, not even fairly quickly, very quickly, rather. I'm almost running out of adjectives to say here, but Magic Beans doing what it takes to get themselves back into position here, using that tent to get that ink back in. And now the Booyah comes out. Look at how far back they are. Inkling is all the way back in their enemy base. And now you have a blaster to deal with. That is dangerous work there from Magic Beans. They do have to back up here. Nutty having to back up. And now Town trying to get some picks there, and they do. But Magic Beans working very quickly here and already still well within striking distance.
Yeah, they were really patient on letting people jump back in. They didn't want to overextend themselves. Much like the art of fermentation, Nito, it takes time and patience. And that's what Magic Beans is exuding right here as we entered the break in checkpoint number 2. Just barely, with Crazy getting taken out. Nutty's going to be jumping back in, though. And the tent is also going to be jumping back in. So the tower is still in the full hands of Magic Beans here. But also with the missiles coming out, that's going to be tough. And it's actually a lead loss, a very swift lead loss from the folks of Inkling. Magic Beans is going to close us out 2-0. Nito, the stacking of specials in those final seconds by Magic Beans, I mean, oh my goodness. Talk about strength in numbers with this one.
I know I was talking earlier and it said about how well Inkling was moving together. Talk about Magic Beans doing everything together. This is what you want to see from higher level teams, is how well they can work together, how well they just know, all right, I know my teammate's going to pop this here. I know my teammate's going to throw this Booyah bomb here. I know everybody's going here. I know where everybody is. So I see a lot of that with that final push that Magic Beans had. Let's just corner everyone near their own spawn. That way, even if we get wiped, we get a three down situation, we can just bring everyone back very quickly. I mean, it doesn't really matter how many we lose in a fight. That is incredible stuff from Magic Beans. Inkling, for all it's worth, did improve greatly there, but Magic Beans, I mean,